Okay. Good morning, friends. Today we are going to see sex linked inheritance. A trait which is determined by a pair of genes which are located on the sex chromosomes are said to be sex linked inheritance. So, a trait which is decided by or determined by or controlled by a pair of genes which are located on the sex chromosomes are said to be sex linked inheritance. Now here the genes which are present on sex chromosomes are said to be sex linked genes. The genes which are present on X chromosome only but its alleles are not present on the Y chromosome are said to be X linked genes. In the same manner, the genes which are present on Y chromosome but its alleles are not present on the X chromosome are said to be Y linked genes. So come here, X linked genes. The genes which are present on X chromosome but whose alleles are not present on Y chromosome. So such genes are said to be X linked genes. Y linked genes. Genes which are present on Y chromosome only but not present its alleles are on X chromosome. They are said to be Y linked genes. X linked genes and Y linked genes, they do not undergo pairing or crossing over during meiotic divisions. Some genes are said to be XY linked genes. So, some genes are present on homologous regions of X and Y chromosomes. They are said to be XY linked genes. These can undergo pairing and crossing over during meiotic divisions. These genes are also said to be pseudo autosomal genes or incompletely sex linked genes. So sex linked inheritance is nothing but a trait which is controlled by or determined by a pair of genes which are located on the sex chromosomes are said to be sex linked inheritance. X linked genes means some genes are present on X chromosome only whose alleles are not present on Y chromosome, they are said to be X linked genes. And their mode of inheritance is said to be X linked inheritance. Now Y linked genes. Genes are present on Y chromosome but not present on X chromosome. They are said to be Y linked genes. X linked genes and Y linked genes, they do not undergo pairing or crossing over during meiotic divisions. And the third one is XY linked genes, means here the genes which are present on the homologous regions of X and Y chromosome. They can easily undergo pairing and crossing over during meiotic divisions. XY linked genes are also known as a pseudo autosomal genes or incompletely sex linked genes. Now come to the types of sex linked inheritance. Sex linked inheritance and their types. Sex linked inheritance, it is of three kinds. X linked inheritance, Y-linked inheritance. The third one is XY linked inheritance. X-linked inheritance. I think the genes which are present on only X chromosome but whose alleles are not present on Y chromosome, they are said to be X-linked genes, and their mode of inheritance from one generation to the other generation is said to be X-linked inheritance. This X-linked inheritance also can be divided into two kinds: recessive X-linked inheritance, dominant X-linked inheritance, under recessive X-linked inheritance. What are the examples are here? Number one is eye color in Drosophila melanogaster. The other one is color blind. Other one is hemophilia. Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Then Hunter's syndrome. Fabry's syndrome. Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. The other one is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency syndrome. So, eye color in Drosophila melanogaster, color blindness, hemophilia, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, Hunter's syndrome, Fabry's syndrome, Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency, all are developed by a recessive genes which are present on X chromosomes. Except eye color in Drosophila melanogaster, the remaining all these things will observed in human beings. What are the dominant X-linked inheritance? The dominant X-linked inheritance are two kinds. One is follicular hyperkeratosis. Other one is incontinentia pigmentosa. So these two are the examples for dominant X-linked inheritance. Now come to the Y-linked inheritance. The example for this one is hypertrichosis. Hypertrichosis means long hairs are going to be developed on the external ear pinna in the human body. Other example for Y-linked inheritance, is webbed toes. Two or more than two number of toes are going to be fused together. That condition is said to be webbed toes. Porcupine man. I think here all over the body, scaly hairs are present, especially bilateral distribution kind of scaly hairs are present all over the body. Such people are said to be porcupine man. So hypertrichosis, here it is said to be elongated hairs are present on the external ear pinna in the male body. Webbed toes, two or more than toes are fused together, that is said to be webbed toes. Porcupine man, I think on whole body is covered by scaly hairs, especially the hairs distribution always will be bilateral distribution. These three will be seen as a Y-linked inheritance. ఇంకా spermatogenesis, azoospermia, etc. also will be seen in this Y-linked inheritance. Testis determinating factor, SRY gene. These hypertrichosis related genes are said to be Hollandric genes. Hollandric genes. So Hollandric genes means some certain genes are present on Y chromosome but not on X chromosome. They will give hypertrichosis. Here testis determinating factor is there that will be developed by sex region on Y chromosome, that is a particular gene. So SRY genes will give the TDF, testis determinating factor. So all will comes under a Y-linked inheritance. XY linked inheritance, here a bobbed bristles in Drosophila melanogaster. That comes as an example for XY linked inheritance. Now come to here, a recessive X-linked inheritance. Under this, the first one is eye color in Drosophila melanogaster. Sex linkage. Linkage, the meaning of linkage is the tendency of a gene, to stay together during inheritance from one generation to other generation without separation, without any change, due to their being on the same chromosome. Okay, that is said to be sex linkage. So linkage, the meaning of linkage is the tendency of a gene to stay together during inheritance from one generation to the other generation without any change, due to being they are present on same chromosome. That is the meaning of linkage. That linkage process was identified by T.H. Morgan in Drosophila melanogaster. So T.H. Morgan, he identified linkage pattern in Drosophila melanogaster. It is a fruit fly. T.H. Morgan contributed to genetics are, number one is He is an American genetic. Theory of gene theory of inheritance. Chromosomal theory of linkage. Theory of gene and gene theory of inheritance. These two are given by T.H. Morgan alone. Chromosomal theory of linkage, that was given by along with Cassel. Chromosomal theory of inheritance. This one was proposed by Sutton and Poveri. But the experimental verification of chromosomal theory was given by T.H. Morgan. Experimental verification of chromosomal theory of inheritance. This one was given by T.H. Morgan. For the year 1933, he was awarded with the Nobel Prize. In physiology and medicine. Now, T.H. Morgan called as a father of modern genetics and also father of experimental genetics, and he known as a fly man of genetics because he had chosen a Drosophila melanogaster for his experimentation. Hence, we called him as a fly man of genetics. So these are the contributions are given by the T.H. Morgan towards genetics. And few things about him. The word linkage also was given by T.H. Morgan. Sex linkage, crossing over, cross inheritance, linkage maps, mutability of genes. All these are discovered by T.H. Morgan. In this, that linkage That phenomenon was first observed by Bergson and Punnett. Later elaborated explanation was given by T.H. Morgan. The word linkage also given by T.H. Morgan. So sex linkage, crossing over, criss-cross inheritance, linkage maps, mutability of genes, all are given by T.H. Morgan. Now we will see the sex linkage pattern in Drosophila melanogaster. In Drosophila melanogaster, there are two kinds of eye-colored organisms are there. Normal eye, that is red-colored eye, Drosophila melanogasters are there. If a particular gene which is meant for to produce red color in their body are mutated, they becomes white-colored eye. Morgan was interested to know the behavior pattern of a pair of alleles of color of the eye, especially the genes which are meant for the producing the color of the eye. Its related alleles are checked by T.H. Morgan through this experiment. Now the red colored eye, a female, is crossed with female Drosophila melanogaster is crossed with mutated white colored male Drosophila melanogaster. In F1 generation, he found that all progeny are with red eye. When he produced F2 generation by using the F1 organisms, all females are normal with red eye, and 50% males are also with normal red eye. The remaining 50% males in F2 generation developed with white eye. So we will see about it clearly by using genotypes. Here, simply red colored eye female Drosophila melanogaster, its genotypes will be like this: XX, XX, and a capital R, capital R. Here XY, and here small r. Small r represents the white character in that organism. Here, two gametes are developed. One gamete is with X chromosome, other one is also with X chromosome. Both receives capital R genes. Here, this one also produces two gametes. Half gametes are with X chromosome and half gametes are with Y chromosome. X chromosome receives small r gene. This one and this one may be fused together to develop XX and capital R with such small r. This one and this one, XY, it receives capital R. XX, capital R, small r. Here, XY, capital R. You observe clearly here, this is a carrier female with red eye. Even though small r gene, which is located on one of its X chromosome, the remaining other X chromosome has capital R, a dominant gene in it. Hence, The recessive gene, it is unable to produce its character in the presence of a dominant R gene. Hence, they develop red dye. But they are having a defected gene, that is a small r, is for white color character. Hence, we are calling them as a carrier females. This one, a normal son with red dye. This one, a carrier daughter, is also with red dye. This one, male, a normal male with red dye. So, in F1 generation, all individuals are with red dye. If we produce F2 generation by using the F1 individuals, especially here is a carrier daughter, that is female Drosophila melanogaster, is with a normal white-eyed Drosophila melanogaster male. So, normal Drosophila melanogaster white-eyed male. Here is red-eyed female of F1 generation. This one produces as usually two gametes. Like this. Gametes will develop like this. This one and this one fuse together, it becomes XX. So a normal homozygous red-eyed Drosophila melanogaster female or daughter. Now this one and this one, XY capital R, that is said to be normal male Drosophila melanogaster with red dye. This one, it becomes XX, capital R, small r. I think it is a carrier female or daughter with red dye. And this one, XY, here is a small r. This is more important because that male received a defective gene which is to produce white eye in it. Hence, this is affected male or son. So, the defected gene which is present in the male parent simply will enter into his daughters. Daughters became carrier women. From the carrier women, the defected gene slowly move into her sons or his grandsons. This kind of inheritance, simply we called it as a criss-cross inheritance. Criss-cross inheritance. Criss-cross inheritance. Or other name for this one is skip generation. Skip generation or skip inheritance. You observe the progeny of F2 generation. Here, one homozygous red-eyed daughter is developed. Other one is heterozygous red-eyed daughter is also developed. But both are said to be normal vision, normal color, that is red eye, normal red-eyed color. You observe the male. One male is with normal red eye, other male is with defected white-eyed character. So here the defected gene present in the male parent simply enter into his daughters became a carrier daughters. From that carrier daughter, the defected gene will enter into his grandsons. That is said to be crisscross inheritance or skip generation or skip inheritance. This is the one example of X-linked recessive inheritance. Now the second example for this one. Second example for the X-linked recessive. Here already we know about it. Eye color in Drosophila melanogaster, color blindness, hemophilia, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, Hunter's disease, Fabry syndrome, less Nihon syndrome, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency, all will come under examples for the recessive X-linked inheritance. Now we will move on to color blindness. Color blindness. What is the story? Some people are unable to see the differences between red color or green color or among blue color also. Okay, I think perception of particular color may not be done by some people. Especially a retina has some codes which are meant for perceiving particular color. Some people are unable to see the differences between red color or green color, that is said to be color blindness. Nearly 10 to 15% males are either with red color blindness or with green color blindness. Here, red color, if it is not identified by the person, the defective thing is disease is said to be protanopia. The green color, if it is not seen by the person, it is said to be deuteranopia. These two are said to be X-linked inheritance. One more other color disease is also found among the people, that is blue color. Blue color. Some people are unable to see the blue color. That is blue color blindness. That disease is known as a tryptopia, which is completely autosomal inheritance. You remember, red color deficiency, green color deficiency are said to be X-linked inheritance. Blue color, that inheritance is totally conformed to autosomal inheritance. Now this color blindness, a marriage is made in between a normal woman, means normal vision, with a color blind male, that is XX, capital C, a normal vision female, is now married with color blind male. She is a normal vision female. In one generation, no one is affected with color blindness. Here, this is a carrier daughter. This one is also a carrier daughter. This one is a normal son. This one becomes a normal son. So in F1 generation, no one is affected with color blindness, but all daughters are said to be here. All daughters are said to be carriers. All males are normal. All males are normal. Next, a marriage is made in between a carrier woman versus normal visioned male. Here, homozygous normal vision daughter will develop. Normal son with a normal vision. Heterozygous carrier daughter with normal vision is developed. This one color blind son is developed. When we observe the children of fifth generation, all daughters are said to be normal, but half of them are said to be carrier daughter, the remaining are said to be normal daughters. Half of the sons are said to be normal, the remaining half of the sons are said to be color blind people. So here the defective gene present in the male parent simply comes to his daughters. Daughters will become a carrier daughters. So the defective gene from the carrier daughter that will enter into her sons or his grandsons. This kind of inheritance is said to be criss-cross inheritance or skip generation or skip inheritance. This is the color blindness. That color blindness was identified by, described for the first time by Horner. And one more test is available for this one to detect whether the people are with color blind or normal, is known as a Ishihara. Ishihara test. So for the first time that color blindness was described by Horner, and the test is known as a Ishihara test to detect the color blindness among the people. Okay, this is the story of about X-linked recessive inheritance color blindness. Now come to the next example for this one is hemophilia. The same pattern of sex linked inheritance also will be seen here. Now for this one is hemophilia. Hemophilia. Whenever injuries are made to our body, blood comes out as a bleeding. Even if it is small cut or large cut, whatever it may be, blood comes out. But within 4 to 5 minutes, that flow of blood will be stopped by a process known as a blood coagulation. Blood coagulation or clotting of blood. Clotting of blood needs nearly 13 factors. All factors will work one on another one in the fashion of cascade method. So I mean the activated one may activate the inactivated one. So the inactivated factor will become activated. That the activated one again will activate the another inactivated one, like that. A cascade mannerly all will work. All the 13 factors finally blood clot may develop. Here in the case of hemophilia, eighth factor, that is another one is a ninth factor, another one is 11th factor. These factors are going to be absent. Even though absence of a single factor, the clotting mechanism may be not completed. Hence, clotting of blood may take more time. Meanwhile, blood comes out continuously from the wound or injury from the person. So, maximum amount of blood may comes out. Even sometimes death also may be occur. That hemophilia, the pedigree analysis was first described by John Cotto. But later, a famous study of about the pedigree analysis of hemophilia was studied by Halden. In the family of Queen Victoria of Europe in the last century. Here, all her descendants are with hemophilia affected people. This kind of hemophilia can be divided into three types. Hemophilia A, it was due to absence of eighth factor. The name of eighth factor is anti-hemophilic factor. Nearly 80% people are going to be affected with hemophilia A. The other one is hemophilia B. Here, ninth factor is going to be absent. Then its name is plasma thromboplastin component or globulin. 20% people are affected with hemophilia B. The other one is hemophilia C. It was developed by due to the absence of 11th factor. Its name is plasma thromboplastin antecedent. So like that, out of 13, absence of any one of the coagulating factors, blood clotting process will be delayed. Meanwhile, lot amount of blood comes out from the injury to outside from the person. Sometimes death also may be occur. So this is the story of about hemophilia. Students, we have to remember of about the John Cotto, who described for the first time of pedigree analysis of hemophilia. Later, well studied by Halden in the Queen Victoria family. Okay. Next. The other example, Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne muscular dystrophy. after the describing by a neurologist, Duchenne. It was popularized as a Duchenne muscular dystrophy. In this, there is a progressively weakening of muscles and their coordination. That was due to mutation occur in a particular gene in the name of dystrophin gene. Here one more important of about it is, this is the largest known gene in human genome. That is the largest gene. Dystrophin gene codes a particular protein in the name of dystrophin. Dystrophin, that is a protein. This protein is more important in the skeletal system, especially among all muscles. One muscle is connected with the other muscle is by this dystrophin, a protein. So among the muscles, coordination is brought about by this dystrophin. The sarcolemma of one muscle is connected with the outermost layers of muscle fibers or muscle filaments, and finally one muscle is connected with the other muscle by dystrophin protein. If mutation occur in this particular gene, dystrophin gene, the dystrophin protein may not be developed, hence muscles are going to be weakened and coordination also may be absent among these muscles. Respiratory muscles and cardiac muscles, their musculature is going to be reduced or weakening of musculature of the respiratory system and cardiac system also may be done by this one. Nearly people who are affected with this syndrome always are the age of 11 years or the age of 20 years. They will die due to stopping of respiratory activity or stopping of cardiac activity. So maximum their lifetime will be 20 years. They are confined to the wheelchair by the age of 11 years. So due to the non-functioning of respiratory system or the cardiac system, that is the heart, at the age of 20 they will die. Then nearly 1 in 3,600 boys it will occur. This is the Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a kind of X-linked recessive inheritance. So example for recessive X-linked inheritance, that is the Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Here the most remembering things are, one is the dystrophin gene, which is more important, that is the largest known gene in the human genome, that codes a protein in the name of dystrophin, that is more important to maintain all the muscles, and coordination also among muscles will be done by this dystrophin. The sarcolemma of a muscle fiber is connected with the outermost layers of other muscle fibers and muscle filaments. So all are interconnected together by dystrophin. If dystrophin is not there, muscles are going to be weak. Progressively weakening and wasting of muscles occur. At the age of 11, such people will be confined to the wheelchair. Within the 20 years of lifetime, they will die due to the non-functioning of respiratory system or non-functioning of cardiac system. Okay, that is the story of about Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Now come to the Hunter's syndrome. Hunter's syndrome. It is also one of the example of recessive X-linked inheritance. It was due to a lysosomal storage disease. What will be happen? L-udirino sulfatase, an enzyme is going to be absent in it. Due to the absence of this one, dermaton sulfate, heparan sulfate are going to be accumulated in the body. And finally, what are the characters are going to be developed by Hunter's syndrome? Hepatospleenomegalic, the enlargement of liver and enlargement of spleen will occur. And one more character, micrognathia. Gnatha means jaw. Here micrognathia means very small jaws are going to be developed. Micrognathia. Retinal degeneration is there. Mental retardation also can be seen in the people of Hunter's syndrome. And stiffness in joints. So these are the some of the characters are developed in Hunter's syndrome. It is a lysosomal storage disease in which L-udirinosulfatase and enzyme is going to be absent. Hence, within the body, dermaton sulfate and heparan sulfate are going to be accumulated. The characters of this one is hepatosplenomegaly. The liver and spleens are going to be enlarged. Micrognathia will develop, retinal degeneration and mental retardation, stiffness in joints. So it is also one of the example of X-linked recessive inheritance. And one more. In the next one is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. Glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency. It produces RBC disease. If that enzyme is going to be defected or deficiency, what will be happen? There is no hexose monoshunt pathway, no NADPH, and inability to maintain glutathione in reduced form to RBC. Hence, that may lead to hemolytic anemia. So that is the disease will develop by deficiency of glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency that produces a kind of RBC disease. Here, no hexose monoshunt pathway, no NADPH will develop, inability to maintain glutathione in reduced form in RBC or to the RBC, finally hemolytic anemia will develop. Okay, and that is also one of the X-linked recessive inheritance. The next one, Les Nehan. syndrome. I think in this it is a nitrogen defect in nitrogen metabolism, especially hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase. This enzyme is absent. So within the blood and body fluids, including with the tissues, there is more and more guanine will be there, and increasing of urine metabolites, will be developed. The disease developed by this one is hyperuricemia. Okay, so this is the story of about the Less-Nyhan syndrome, nitrogen metabolism. The defect seen in nitrogen metabolism. The defected enzyme or absence of enzyme is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase. If that enzyme is absent, urine metabolites are going to be increased in the blood or body fluids or tissues. That may lead to hyperuricemia. Okay, this is also one of the example for the recessive X-linked inheritance. The next one, syndrome. It is also one of the example for recessive X-linked inheritance. In it, which one is going to be defected Fabry, especially which is also known as a lysosomal storage disease. That is a Fabry syndrome. Ceramide trihexoside that will be built up in our body. Then that may lead to angiokeratosoma, skin lesions are developed, especially in the lower part of the trunk. Then fever will develop, severe burning pains, especially in the extremities. Cardiovascular and cerebrovascular involvement also will be there. The deficiency of which enzyme here? Alpha galactosidase A. Alpha galactosidase A enzyme is absent in this. Hence, ceramide trihexoside, that particles are going to be accumulated or build up. That may lead to angiokeratosoma, skin lesions. Fever will develop, severe burning pains are developed in the extremities, and cardiovascular, cerebrovascular involvement also will be there in this syndrome. So up to this, all recessive X-linked inheritance examples are over. Now come to the dominant X-linked inheritance. In this, follicular hypertrichosis. Here, overproduction of keratin Hence, hairs are always rough, rigid, and root hairs or their tips are also with white plug of sebum. So root hairs, their openings are also filled with the white plug of sebum. These are the characters are seen in the follicular hyperkeratosis. That will be as an example for dominant X-linked inheritance. Next, incontinentia pigmenti. Incontinentia. I think here random loss of melanin pigment. If melanin pigment is going to be loosened, that particular area will become white, pale white in nature. So skin develops mosaic coloration. Some parts of the body will be darker in color, some parts of the body will be lighter in color. That is due to the random loss of melanin pigment. That was due to the incontinentia pigmentosa. It is a good example for dominant X-linked inheritance. Up to this, we completed X-linked inheritance. Now, come to the Y-linked inheritance. I think already we discussed about it, but briefly we will see of them also now. Y-linked inheritance. Y-linked inheritance. Especially one example is hypertrichosis, developing of an elongated hair on external ear pinna in the male organism. Overgrowth of hairs or elongated hairs on external ear pinna in male organism. That is known as a hypertrichosis. Next, webbing of toes. Two or more than two number of toes are going to be fused together to form a webbing of toes. The third one is porcupine man. That also will come as an example for Y-linked inheritance. Here porcupine means here their body has a scaly hairs. So all over the body there is a scaly hairs are present, especially their distribution look like as a bilateral distribution. Bilateral distribution, natured scaly hairs are present all over the body, so such people are said to be a porcupine man. Hypertrichosis, webbing of toes, porcupine man, these three will come under Y-linked inheritance. Now come to the XY-linked inheritance. XY-linked inheritance. XY-linked inheritance. I think here is bobbed bristles are a good example for XY-linked inheritance in Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila melanogaster. Okay. There are some things are here. One is sex-linked sex-limited genes. Some genes are present in both male and female on their autosomal area. Their expression will be limited to one of the sex of the organism only. That is said to be beard developed in male organism, milk production in female, mammary gland development etc. in female. But here the genes which are meant for beard character, milk producing nature and mammary gland development are present in both male organism and as well as in female organism, but they are limited to, their expressions are limited to one of the sex only. Next, sex influenced genes. Here some autosomal genes are present in both male organism and female organism, but their expression is also going to be influenced differently from one sex to other sex of the organism. Here, bald character, baldness. Okay. Here we will see a capital B, and a capital B, small b, and a small b, small b. Capital B in female produces bald character. In male also produces bald character. Capital B, small b heterozygous condition, that is not able to produce bald character in the female. So no bald character. In the male, they can be able to produce bald character. Small b genotype is unable to produce bald character in female and also in male. So here, bald character in the case of female developed only by capital B homozygous dominant genes. But in the case of male, the homozygous dominant genes as well as heterozygous dominant genes are also going to develop a bald character in the male organism. Hence, 3:1, 3 bald characters, 1 non-bald will develop in the male. 1:3, that is in female. Bald character 1, non-bald characters are 3. In the case of female, 1 bald will develop, 3 non-bald females are developed. In the case of males, 3 bald males are developed, 1 non-bald males are developed. Okay, this is the story. For this one, we go simply the cross. Here, capital B, small b, either female or male. Here, what will happen? These kinds of genes are going to be, the gametes are going to develop. These are fused together. Capital B, small b, small b, small b. This one produces, if female, if these are said to be females, it becomes bald. All these 3 non-bald. All are said to be non-bald. In the case of male, this one produces bald character. This one and this one also produces bald character. This one alone produces non-bald. Hence, in the case of female, 1:3 will develop of bald to non-bald. In the case of male, 3:1 will develop in the case of bald to non-bald. So up to this, it is over. But come to the Y-linked inheritance, there is some more information regarding about the Y-linked inheritance. Spermatogenesis along with SRY gene and testis determining factors. Hypertrichosis is developed by Holandric genes. Holandric genes are always will be present on the Y chromosome only. Okay, such genes are responsible for the hypertrichosis also. SRY gene, sex determining region on Y chromosome that gives testis determining factor. All are concerned with the Y-linked inheritance. Okay, this is the story of about sex-linked inheritance. So up to this, we will stop.